right. Welcome to my show called The Strictly Bullshit Show. And this is the way I see it. And so I'm in incognito, in disguise, because some people don't want to talk about certain things. So anyhow, here's the dealio. You got Republicans and Democrats. All these restaurant closures, all these things that are going on. You can't put the clues together. I mean, the epidemic is just, this is a test run for the real run, And you guys are all asleep at the wheel, unfortunately. China's flying to the moon, landing, spacecraft and doing positive stuff in the media, making the United States look like a joke, you know what I mean? I mean, we're the ones that are supposed to be the leaders of, going places and being a world, leader, as far as first go to the moon and all the things America was about, is now about a divided country based on, the whole world. Let's put this way: the whole world's watching. Okay, and this is the time that we should be getting together, because I'm telling you, when you're not looking, somebody's going to come in and try to take advantage of that, maybe attack the country or worse. But all I know is the Democrats and Republicans, they don't give a shit about you, me, or any of us. And trust me, they don't. They got money. Most of the people that are in the Senate, the floor, have a law degree of some type, or they hold major assets, power control over some type of commodity or something, and these people, they've been sitting in their seats for a long time, and they just pass it back and forth, Republicans, Democrats, In the meanwhile, the trillions of dollars gets ripped off, people are putting money away. Makes you wonder if they know something we don't know, like something coming from space that they know is coming towards us, that's going to be an upset, because, top leaders of the world just kind of seem to be smiling and then putting a lot of propaganda out there, wars, rumors of wars, and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. This epidemic thing, just watch your headlines, how they're dividing up, like monopolies, um, Microsoft and the owners, all those guys, they all have Jewish names. Soros, Beckenberg, the guy who owns, where everybody's got to get delivered to and put all the stores out of business, and amongst other things, like Facebook owner, anyhow, the federal government busted up that stuff for monopolizing or whatever, and which is probably a good thing. But really, truly, with all the stuff with the Russian collusion and all that stuff is just to keep you busy, looking this way, keeping you occupied with drama, and then at the same time they're doing this on this way, and so now you have a virus. So remember, they create the problem, and they come in as the hero and have a solution to the problem. That's a red flag right there, right? Okay. If they really cared about the people, they would have issued, monies out to help businesses stay in business, so forth and so on. But no, that's not the case at all. All that PP money and all that stuff, that all went to, big corporations and stuff. Those guys basically created something, and they negotiate with themselves up there, you know, okay, this fund's going to go through this thing and this thing, and you know, we're going to get a piece of it from here on the backside and that on the backside. You know, everybody's negotiating for their piece of the puzzle. And you and I, you know, people are out of work, you're on unemployment, and they got you down just a little bit further. What they do now is pretty much take your guns from you, and, you know, which that's coming up pretty soon. They're going to try, but I'll tell you what, I guarantee you, no matter what, when push comes to shove, you guys are going to have a bloodbath on your hands, whether it's military, whether it's outside military, or whatever, because I'll tell you what, there are a lot of people in this country who are not going to give up their arms for nobody, okay? I don't give a shit. Their assault rifles, none of that shit. If anything, they'll be buried and ready to take out at any moment in time. I mean, of course, the government bought thousands, millions of rounds. They already know that. This is all preload. You know, we're the last country in the world that, you know, has somewhat of true freedom. What's left of it. But I got a funny feeling we're going into a dark period. You know, kind of like farmers. You know, they're supposed to let the land heal, and then they replant again. This is downtime, you know, dark time of rejuvenation. But this isn't going to be rejuvenation. This is more like population control. Who are we willing to, um, who's collateral damage, basically? Who's, you know, I mean, think of that, you know, 300,000, you know, people die in a country, and let's say that 220,000 of them are retired people. You know, that's a lot of money in Social Security that's not going to get paid out, that goes into a bank fund, you know what I mean? Less young people than there is with all the retirees and things, you know. Governments do a lot of things, you know, with experimentals, with even their own people, things of this nature, you know, because it's necessary for whatever agenda that they're trying to get across. But the truth is there's sometimes, you know, like Russia, you know, and they tried to do a coup there, and we were all watching this on TV, and we're like, wow, is that really happening in Russia? And, you know, he had, you know, all the key players that played in all that, and Reagan, and you know, and there was Boris Yeltsin, and there was Gorbachev, and all of those things going on. And now it's reversed. You know, this is America, and this is, you know, Trump in the office basically saying, you know what, I love this country, and I'm not gonna leave this office and concede. And the other one is still a war when Hillary Clinton got beat, you know, in the election, was just an absolute. I mean, they thought for sure she'd win. And so from that point on, this president has been working and going through, you know, just, you know, tidal wave after tidal wave of everything you can imagine. They've thrown at this guy, you know. So, you know, I'm not saying that Donald doesn't have his fault. But, I mean, there are certain things that are obvious. I mean, a guy that's got almost practically Alzheimer's is going to run the country. And, you know, $1.5 billion or whatever it is from China. I mean, where I grew up in the Constitution, all the things, and some of the things that happened with the sale of a mine up in Canada to Russia and things of this nature, these are all treason, okay? These are treasonable, triable acts that are done by our elected officials that you people are sitting there letting it happen. Now, there's only so many things you can do. You can let it happen until someone's at your front door and you're going to a FEMA camp, okay? Because the weaponry they have nowadays is like this. You come out with your guns, they got these, vehicles that put out a pitch and drop you to your knees and you're grabbing your head, okay? You're not going to be able to shoot your gun unless you know how to block that signal. These are things that they use. They have more high tech. Just think about it this way: wherever we're at, they're like 100 years ahead of us. Okay, at least the governments around the world, they have technologies and things that they've been messing with. With all these lighters and controlling weather and all these things. These are the people that are destroying, playing around with Mother Nature and elements as to try to find out the mystery of the word God. And then they find out that they can't find a God, so they become gods of their own and say, well, you know what? We got to save ourselves from a meteor coming. We've got to, do this and that and become, our own gods, except that only a few people run these, systems that mess with the earth, and dropping these particles and all the things that they're doing. They obviously have some place to go to get away from it all, right? There's got to be underground or something. I mean, they must have a plan, because you guys don't have a plan. Nobody out there, you guys don't have a plan. They tell you, preppers, and you get an opt-out bag and this and that and that. Okay. The other thing you can do is you can don't vote Democrat or Republican and vote, another party like independent or something, and get these people out of the Senate and all those places because they're corrupt. I mean, they can't even. They can't even make a decisions on American people. The people, we are the people. On anything. I mean, they're just in a war that's just going on and on and on, and it's all about look at me, dividing the country. Be on our side or you're on that side, and you guys are allowing all that bullshit to happen to you. Why? Because you're stupid, ignorant, stupid. Okay, so whatever comes down on you people, because you can't seem to figure it out, we the people, it's like going to court, and the judge tells you, well, ignorance of the law, that's on you, buddy. We spent the time to study it and everything, and if you're not part of our club and you don't really know what you're saying or doing, well, you're going to pay for it, you know what I mean? For, just any word, I mean, these guys got it down like, okay, Clinton said, well, I don't recollect. Now, that must be a redneck law word, recollect, because if you said, I don't remember, I forgot, or something like that, well, shoot, man, they would prosecute the shit out of you. But I think if you go to court next time, just use that word, I don't recollect, all right? And you might get off on some stuff, right? I didn't penetrate. I tried it once, but I didn't hell it. I mean, that's why they're politicians, because they're so good at it. And everybody goes, wow, you know, he's not so bad, he tried it, and there's pot smokers out there in the world and whatever. And look at all the people that went to prisons over marijuana and stuff. Now they're legalizing it everywhere. Well, you know why? Because the drug war is an expensive war, and it's a losing battle, just like the alcohol prohibition period. I mean, can you imagine a world with no kind of vice, to get some kind of little buzz or some kind of something for a minute? I mean, some people can do it straight and watch some movies and escape. Some people go and eat until they're 300 pounds to escape. Some people go to religion to escape, and, some people are shopaholics to escape. Oh man, I'm pissed off. I'm going to go buy me a new outfit. Whatever it is that your vice is, it's going to be in one of those 5 devices. You're going to turn to, alcohol, drugs, religion, um, eating obesity, overeating, shopping, those type things. That's what everybody falls into one of those categories. So really, you're all addicted. You all have an addiction, period, okay? So, you can hide behind your religion, hide behind your shopping and all your other stuff, but the truth is, just shut it out. And then when you smell it and smell your neighbors, you might find out that it really stinks. It smells all about the same, you know. But some people, they have privilege shit, and their shit, comes out like perfume. And in the meanwhile, while you're sitting here smelling all the bad shit, smelling all the shit, they're producing perfume shit, and they're getting richer by the day and by the month. I mean, why can't you people figure it out? I just don't understand. I mean, should I name them all for you? I mean, okay, let's start with going back. We'll start with Bush and the Twin Towers and the Desert Storm, right? And then, then we have the Iran deal with the United States and nuclear and dropping all this money off at Iran, and then, you know, we have all these different things that you guys all forgot about. Like there was supposed to be an audit. Remember that? 2020, other countries wanted their gold back. Huh? Maybe you don't hear about that. You don't hear about, more on the, what was it, $20 trillion or whatever it was a few years ago that disappeared out of the treasury or accounting, that no one knows where it went or what, no accountability. Kind of like Washington State with the unemployment situation, where people are waiting, 9 months, a year to get their unemployment that they worked their ass off, paid into it, and being treated as they were the criminal who ripped off the unemployment business. Um, and there's definitely an inside cover up to that one for our state. But I mean, these people get away with some of the craziest things you could ever imagine. Okay, I mean, in Seattle, we got people living all over the streets and tents and downtown, needles everywhere, shitting everywhere. And really, the way that all happened was, they tried to do it with Tent City, through share wills, and they went to the rich communities and, and put it in their face. But, they can't solve any of the problems because, well, why not? Because it's better to have all that stuff on the streets and have people saying it's okay to riot and loot and do all that because they're not doing anything. And, because they're spending, getting $1 billion or billions of dollars for selling a mine, or trillions of dollars disappearing, that's in, part of your money for the United States, right? But you guys really got to realize something. The United States of America is a corporation in the first place. It's 11 miles in diameter, and basically, they do DBA. DBA is doing business as DMV. DBA doing business is the social welfare system who takes children away from people because you don't obviously own your own children. Um, that goes back to claiming your name, all that stuff about, you know, uh, claiming your capital name and all that stuff. The government and all the people say that's all a bunch of lie and bullshit. No, the big cover up is they're right, actually. You're first of all, you're a United States citizen, or you're a United States of America, citizen. Because, if you sign up for a driver's license or anything that you sign to, just put it this way, just think in your head, everything that you get that you got to sign that is very important. Your bank checks, everything that you get from getting arrested, they want your signature. Why do they want your signature? Okay, because the signatures always seem to have something behind it that's monetary, cash money. Without a signature, they can't get paid. You know what I mean? Doesn't it ever make you wonder why your checks come in all your capital name? You think it's just a respectful thing or whatever, or why the bond paper, and your birth certificates, all those things are just, you know, I mean, a government's a government. They're going to run a business like business. Those babies are born. They might be a doctor. They might be this, that, you know. And, that's what it's just paper. And I think they do sell paper. I think they sell human slave paper. I mean, you're still enslaved, but it's kind of like used to be an employee. But to make you feel better, you're now an associate. Okay? Makes you feel a little bit like you have more part of something, right? It's all words, you know. These are the type of scenarios that, these people will do, and you're still enslaved, okay? I mean, you're taxed, when for when you work, you get taxed, and they try to make you feel like you're getting something because you're getting a tax return. If you look at how much taxes they took in your tax return, you wouldn't be saying that. The point being is that I don't know of any government anywhere in the world that really effectively works. I mean, who has to have governments anyhow, or borders and all that? Who makes all these rules up? Well, obviously it's the people that own the nuclear bombs and own the aircraft carriers and all the and you feel powerless, but you're not powerless. You're never powerless. Okay, there's so many of them, and there's 300 million of us, and there's probably, 5,000 of them or something. And we're letting 5,000 people, plus the deep, dark, secret government monies that go elsewhere and whatever. I mean, who wants a corporation, with a CEO? He's not even aware of where this money's going for other ops and stuff because he's only privileged to stuff to do with the DBAs, like the DMV and the economy and things of this nature. I mean, somebody sold themselves out cheap. Boy, I'm telling you, the devil got a cheap deal on that contract. But anyhow, um, it's just some food for thought. And the way I see it is, um, this is the time right now where you guys should be organizing some kind of something, because these people, they don't give a damn about you. You lost your restaurants, you lost your stuff. Okay, so who do you blame it on? You blame it on the Chinese, with this epidemic that could have been told to other people. People knew about it. Who do you blame it on? I'll tell you what. I mean, right now, the world's not too happy. China's blaming Italy. I mean, who really knows? And we got Bill Gates over here talking about in the future how, you know, it's going to be, disease and everything. Um, that's kind of interesting, I mean, really, you know, and it seems to me it's pretty weird. I know that there's people in the Bible and things of that nature that believe that the Gentiles and the Jews are blessed more than Gentiles. So that might take us back to Germany, World War II, where they started genociding, probably because most of the Jews had the money back then because of whatever way they were taught. Okay, so look at the Zuckerbergs, Gates, and all these people. If you look at who's running the billionaires of the earth, majority of them are all Jews. They're Jewish people, and yet we're allied to protect Israel. We help Israel out and everything. But at the same time, Soros, another one, he has some hatred and contempt for this country too, and so it makes you wonder what's really going on, right? So if this is God's country, and these people are monopolizing on everything from the tech talk stocks to everything else. Well, what happened in Germany? Well, exactly. It could happen here as well, because when people start going broke and they only see a few people doing that, then they, automatically, want to open up, camps and start genociding, spread some of the wealth around and things of that nature. But these people, you know, they're in a different league. They're in a different time and space right now, right? Because they got their money, they can afford to buy armies and things of this nature. It's crazy. Hire a hitman, whatever they want, whenever they want. And you know, truthfully, for speaking for myself, yeah, I'm a little jealous because I get to the league there, but they can't do anything without me anyhow, because I have to take my rightful seat and position, and which goes long time through, well, heritage and things of this nature, to kingdoms in which I was born into this world as a hidden king in a way, I suppose, because I never knew my real daddy. How about that? Is that funny? It's funny, isn't it? Or if I said something like, soon I'm going to run 3.5 years of this whole planet, and you will all bow down to me, and you will bear my mark, because I'm going to destroy all of you. Wow, that's crazy, huh? Trick or treat? I don't know. But there's some real crazy bullshit coming down. Anyhow, I just wanted to chat with you guys and tell you, either all of you guys either wake up or get devoured. Can't say I didn't warn you. Goodbye.